Today, I want to tell you the reasons why you need to know how to sell and buy homes in Lehigh Acres, Florida. Tip from the expert. Whether you are a first-time home buyer or if you're a seasoned investor, in this video we'll find some tips and advices how to sell, how to buy in Lehigh Acres, Florida. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe, like this channel as well. If you want more information about Southwest Florida, if you have any questions, you can find my information down below. There's my calendar. You can schedule a call with me one-on-one. Also, there's going to be my email and phone number. So DM me or comment in this video below. I will be more happy to answer it. Usually takes me pretty quick, less than a day, I'll answer it. Anyways, let's dive in and let's figure out what separates us from other cities around in Florida, around Southwest Florida. So let's go. All right, number one is working with a local real estate agent. It's a very important step because Lehigh Acres is very dynamic and it's very different culture. In different areas of a town, it is different market. So you want to have that local agent because they can negotiate or will negotiate for you if you're selling it or if you're buying the house. They will know and they can prevent from any issues happening, and as well they know how to market the house in the location in Lehigh Acres, Florida. Like again said before, there's very different cultures. In one of my videos I talk about Lehigh Acres. You might want to go check it out. But Lehigh Acres is very diverse and it's very different every part. If it's southeast, southwest, northeast, northwest, it's a big difference. So you want to have that agent that knows the market and they can help you and they can explain you what's going on. They can guide you in the right direction so that transaction can be very smooth and easy. All right, let's move on to the next step. Number two, it is researching the market. You want, before you even reach out to the agent, check it out, see what has been sold, see what's been happening in the market, how much is per square foot, and then write these questions down. The way when you find that agent, you can ask this question, the agent can interpret this question, and that's other way you can figure out which agent will fit you the most better to your needs. So doing number two is doing the research of the market, what's happening, what's trending, or how much things are sold, what's more popular, what's needed. That way you know which way to lead. If you're buying it or selling it, that will help you to understand what your next step is. All right, and that's number two, is doing the research of the market. Step number three, it's getting pre-approved, right? It doesn't matter if you're buying or selling it. I'm getting pre-approved. It's a very important step because it makes it easier in the transactions, makes it easier later down the road, and you don't run into the issue where somebody falls in love with the house. Personally, in my life, that's what happened before I got pre-approved. I love some of the houses, but boom, they're off the market, right? If you're selling the house, you're gonna sell the house, you're probably gonna go move into a different new house, right? You're gonna buy a different house, or if you go rent, I don't know, it's a situation. But you still want to get that pre-approval. I mean, if you're gonna rent, then don't skip this part, right? But if you're buying a house, or if you're gonna sell and buy a house, get a pre-approval letter because it makes it so much easier. It can prevent things from falling apart, and you'll know where you stand, at least your price range that you can afford it, and you can see what you can pick out. Actually, you have more better understanding where you're gonna land with the market, the percentage and stuff like that, the payments, so you can kind of outweigh, see what's more important and see what's doable right now at the moment. And like I said before, you're not married to the rate, because rate drops, you can refinance the house. So it doesn't matter if it's 6-7%. In a couple of years, rate drops, maybe in a year drops, who knows, nobody knows. But this step, you want to really do it before you pull any trigger. It's getting pre-approved, especially if you go into Lehigh Acres, because this town, it is growing, and one of my videos talk about it as well. But it is growing, fast growing. So those some homes that are very affordable, they flood the market pretty good. Anyway, let's go to the next step. This step is number four. It's staging the home. It's more towards people who are selling the house because you want to stage your home. And that kind of falls into category of the agent who should do some photography. Nice, good professional photography, not with their iPhone. They just walk around, take photos, and they put it on MLS and they put it on the website. You want to have the professional photographer that can do it and clean up the house a little bit, clean up the mess, take the extra day off on Saturday or Sunday and have schedule the photographer around that time where you can go to the house, clean everything up, kind of set things up and stage the house to the best ability, and ask your agent if they have that staging services that can come in, stage the house pretty good. But if it's empty, what I would advise is to hire somebody, like a professional photographer. The agent should know it as well. They can stage the house for you, where you don't have to put the furniture there, and they can stage that and put that on MLS, which is makes the photos more attracting to people when they look to the houses, right? And again, and you want that staging home as well. You tell them agent as well when they're gonna list the house. Make sure the first one, obviously by rules, by law, you have to put the front of the house, but second one, put the stage house, put something that is very catchy, because what happens when they stroll through through Zillow or through Realtor.com, whatever the site they're using it, right? They go first picture on the house and they go second picture. If it's a house and a house and a house and outside, by that they have to swipe 3-4 times before they can get to the nice picture, and they're gonna go on to the next one. So staging, it's very important. Number 4, staging the house is very important, and I would not skip out, because that will bring you more buyers. That will make the buyers more feeling welcome to the house and connected to the house and want to buy your house. All right, let's go to the next one. Please hear me out. Number 5 is very important. Pricing the home right at the right price. See, you can go high and the house is going to stay in the market, and it's going to hurt your listing, it's going to hurt your house, because people are going to see the house has been in the market for so long. That means something wrong with the house, or it's overpriced. So if you're trying to sell the house, please do your research, and your realtor agent can help you out. They can do the market analysis of the house and see where your house falls into, what category, and see what's happening on the market, and they can price your house at the price that house is going to sell, not the house gonna sit, because all the buyers are not gonna go in to buy a house that it's remodeled at $380,000 when the brand new house sits at $360,000. They're gonna go buy a new house. So you want to price the house at the market, at the value that it is. And I would even advise, if you're in a rush to sell it, just go a little bit lower, and you will see it. There's the different benefits, which is your local real estate agent should tell you and kind of guide you through it. And if you want to go with some higher number, you might want to rethink about that. You might not want to sell at the moment, then wait for the market to go up for the price that you want to sell it. So again, do the market research as part of it, and pricing it right. That's going to help you. The step number 2 will help you pricing the house right, because you want to sell Lehigh Acres. There's homes that have been sitting in the market for so long and did not have been moved, not sold, and they sit, and people are getting discouraged, and people don't want to sell it, and then they're just paying this extra mortgage, unless you have a mortgage, right? Unless you pay it out of cash. But that's the issue a lot of will face today in Lehigh Acres, where people overprice it. They think they can get more money out of it, but the market shifted, things changed. So we must shift with the market as well if we want to sell. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 6, and that is my favorite. Number 6, negotiation skills. You gotta be open to negotiate. You gotta be open and flexible, going back and forth with the buyer or with the seller, whatever the position you're in, is negotiating through the process, through the home inspection, through the closings, and stuff like that. The appraisal, right? When the appraisal comes into too low, right? Too high, it's a good thing. The appraisal comes in too low, for example, or there's some repair needs to be done, and if you're the one who's selling the house, for a fact, if you're buying as well, so you gotta negotiate in a way where you can find a middle ground, that it can be fair for both sides. Understand that market, what's happening in the market, what's happening. Have you seen where the location of the house is, and seeing where everything's moving to? So negotiating skills is must, and I hope your realtor has those skills, and you have to be open and understand it's gonna happen. We're not in a hot market right now, and things will happen. Things will rise up. Things will rise up during the process of that application, right? Maybe they give pre-approval, but then down the road we see right now lately a lot that didn't get approved for that loan, and they get approved for lower loan. So they go back and forth negotiating and see what they can do. For example, 3-2-1 buy down program, right? Where the seller has to pay all those buy down points. So there's different aspect of negotiating. There's different aspect that you will face, but you have to be open to that in order if you want to buy or even sell in Lehigh Acres, Florida. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 7, and I promise you this is the last one. You gotta stay informed. All right, you gotta stay informed, and hopefully when you're going to find that the local agent, you will see that they communicate. They stay in communication with you in the whole process. That by buying or selling, it's very important. What we find here in Lehigh Acres, Florida, I don't want to bash on any agents, but there's some lack in the way of communication, just because it's more relaxed life. It's just like Hawaii time, right? But you want to have that part very, very sharp and point, stay informed, maybe even sit down with the agent, ask them what is the steps going to happen, what do you need to wait for, maybe even take notes, write it down, so you can, if he drops the ball, you can follow, like, hey, what's happening with the inspection, what's happening with the appraisal. So staying informed, it makes the stress so much less, and it makes transactions so much easier to go smoother and stress-free in a way when you have all those A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, whatever, how many points they have, but there's not that many, right? But staying informed, giving advice is basically, you're offering the accepted, but you ask for deposit, then go ahead and home inspection, then your appraisal, and then, for final, the communication between the lender and that closing title company, right? When they go back and forth and get a deed in, and then they get all the DAs in the place where they, and then the final deposits, right? So those things are in the closing day, right? The most important day is the closing day where all the magic happens. And if you're a buyer, you're going to have the keys to the house, and if you're a seller, hey, move on to the next house, right? Or move on to the next project. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I promise it was only 7 points. I hope you find this video very educational. I hope you find this video very helpful. And please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it. If you know anybody that is trying to buy a house here in Lehigh Acres, Florida, or want to sell this house, please DM me down, comment below as well. There is my calendar there. You can schedule one-on-one call with me as well. There's phone number, email that you can get a hold of me. I'm just a text away, phone call away. And again, thank you so much for watching it, and God bless.